This is the plaintiff, Michael Gonzalez. He says he was driving his mother's car, was making a right turn, and the defendant darted in front of him, smashing into the car. The guy didn't even stop until he was down the street. He made a huge mistake by not calling the police because the louse is claiming the accident was his fault, and now his mom is mad at him because her car's damaged and he hasn't been able to get it fixed. He's suing for $1,640.19, the amount owed. These are the defendants, Brett Marconi and his dad, John. Brett says he was making a legal right turn, and it was the plaintiff who crashed into his rear wheel and back panel. The guy wasn't in a turning lane, he was in the bus lane, panicked, and tried to get into the turning lane at the last minute without looking to see where he was going. It was determined he had zero liability. The accident was the plaintiff's fault, and that's why he's not paying. They're accused of darting into trouble. The defendants have filed a countersuit for $482.33 for damages incurred.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn in.
Thank you, Douglas. Clara and Michael Gonzalez. You'll be representing. Clara is who? Your mom?
My mom.
Okay, so you were driving your mom's car?
My car. It's under her name.
Yeah, your mom's. Like I said, you were driving your mom's car. Suing John and Brett Marconi. Who's John? Who's Brett?
I'm John.
I'm Brett.
Okay, and the car is under your name?
Yes.
And your relationship with Brett?
A father.
Okay, and you were driving?
Yes.
Okay, I'll be talking to the young gentleman. Michael, you are suing Brett for $1,640.19 over a car accident that you say was his fault. Tell me what happened.
Basically, he cut me off on my lane. He obviously didn't see me, and
Come on up and use the board so I can understand who's in what lane.
this is my car, this is his car, and this is what basically happened. There was traffic on his lane, mine was free-flowing, so he decided to cut me off, and that's when he hit me. We were both moving.
He misjudged how much time he had?
He didn't see me. He obviously didn't look back.
You don't think he saw you at
I was
all?
in his blind spot, that's why.
Okay, were you guys stopped? Is there a light there? Were you stopped at a light?
This was a light, yeah, this was a crosswalk. The light had turned green. Traffic was...
Were there any cars in front of you?
There was, but it was moving. On his lane, it wasn't.
Okay.
So that's when
And
he
both
decided.
those lanes do what?
They turn right.
Both those lanes turn right.
That's right.
Okay, and then there's another lane in between you and the bus stop?
That's the parking lane.
Okay.
At this corner, this is where the bus stops.
Okay, and then the other two lanes are for turning right?
This one goes straight.
The other two go straight.
I don't believe there was another lane here. This was the another parking lane.
Okay.
And this straight was just go straight or left.
But the two that you're describing that you're in are definitely right turn lanes.
Yeah, they are right turns.
Okay, and put the cars where he hits you?
This is where he hits me.
Okay, and at that spot before the crosswalk?
Yeah, before.
Okay, now did the two of you talk after, did you both get out of the car after the accident?
Yeah, he had stopped when he noticed he hit something. Then
Okay,
after
so-
that, he keeps moving to prevent, traffic. So he pulls over here, we both pull over, and that's when we start discussing what just happened.
But that's the exact moment in time where now both of you can say whatever you want because you've now moved the cars from the spot, which would tell me where the accident happened.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Okay, go on over there. What happened? Come on up here.
Okay, basically,
Back over here with the car. Thank you.
I was in this lane, and there was a bus here. I had no idea where Michael was. And basically, when the light turned green, the bus was a tandem bus, so it was a longer one, so it had to go out and make a wide turn because it can't cut these right turns. After the bus went, then I proceeded to go, and when I was just about done with the turn, then I was hit. And I don't know where he was from there. I don't know if he was behind the bus or behind me.
Okay, you've made the red car, he had used the bus, that's fine. And then you made that blue and white car his car. And according to you, the accident happens in the the perpendicular crosswalk?
Yeah, I was just about done with my turn. I was cutting the wheel back to straighten it out when I was hit.
Did one of you have witnesses in the car?
I had two friends in the car, but they were unable to make it today.
Why?
One is a student and the other one had work, I think.
So what? Everybody goes to school and has work. Why aren't they here?
I don't know, they're just irresponsible, I guess.
Pick better friends.
That's it.
All right, go ahead and go back to...
Thanks.
Did you have any witnesses in your car?
No.
All right. Upon you folks stopping, what do you say occurs?
I asked for his insurance, his license. I take a photo of it, jot it down. I asked if this was his first accident. He says yes. I asked if he was alright. He said yes. I told him how the process goes, that I have to call his insurance and file a claim.
And what did he say?
He said, okay, that's fine, that's fine. He gave me his insurance, his license, his registration.
He did give you his insurance?
Yeah.
Okay.
There wasn't much
Did you
talk.
give him your insurance?
No, he didn't ask for it.
Did you not ask him for his insurance?
It was my first accident, kind of frazzled and a little inexperienced.
Someone cut someone off and caused this crash. Question is who? Let's listen.
Why didn't you guys call the police?
I didn't because as I was speaking to him, he apologized to me, stating that it was his fault.
Yeah, watch it now. How did that
Yeah.
work out for you?
Not so good.
Right, but
Well,
if you called the police, there'd be a witness to that apology.
That's right. There
There'd
wouldn't
be
be a
somebody
problem.
writing something down in a police report that benefits you.
That's right.
Do you ever watch People's Court?
No.
Yeah, well, that's your first problem. Because if you had been watching me for the last 12 years, you would hear me say to every single person who's had a car accident in front of me, always call the police. Because the half an hour that you save by not calling them and not having to wait for them is going to cause you a lot more than a half hour once you have to end up in court litigating because the person changes what they said. I'm not presuming that that's what you did, but do you understand why no one should ever, unless you are driving on a suspended license, okay, or have a warrant out for your arrest, then I understand why you don't want the police to come. But if there's none of that going on, there's no reason for you not to insist that the police come so that you have a witness to all of this stuff. How old are you?
19.
Have you ever been told something by someone who then later changed their mind?
This
At
was
least once.
This was really the first.
All right. When you tell me that you did not ask for his insurance information because it was your first time, that does make me a little bit suspicious. Because another reason why you might not ask for someone's insurance information is because you don't think it's their fault. Then you have two witnesses who are friends of yours. Who, did you get an affidavit from them?
No.
Yeah. Who could exonerate you completely and show that it's not your fault. And yet not one, but both of them refused to come to court and get cross-examined by me. Maybe they have watched People's Court. Those are two things that are bad for you. Now, you end up making a claim against him on his insurance, correct?
Yes.
And what happens? They come out, they do an adjustment.
Right,
They
and-
adjust it to what?
1,640.
The amount that you're suing for.
That's right.
And then they tell you we're not going to pay because
There was they couldn't determine who was liable because there was no police report.
it's really that he's saying, it wasn't my fault. It was
Right.
It was Gonzalez's fault.
Right.
Right. So you tell me, you don't get his insurance information, but you give him all of yours, but it's his fault. Then you leave. And then when's the first time? Do you guys hear from each other ever again after this or no?
Yes.
Okay, when is that?
Later that evening, I did get his phone number at the scene of the accident, so I did call him, and I was able to get his insurance. And
After who told you to do that? Your pop or mom?
yeah, my father.
Okay. Did you ever file a lawsuit
No.
against him for the damages to your car? This happened when?
The 18th of September.
It wasn't until he filed a lawsuit against you that you filed a counterclaim
Correct.
for the damage to your car. And according to you, that's $482.33. And may I see the pictures of both of your cars?
This is a better photo, but I have a copy if you want to give it.
Okay, this is your car, Mr. Gonzalez?
Good, that's a better photo.
We can sit this. Okay.
That's an intersection.
Okay, thank you.
What are you driving?
A Toyota Celica.
Does this page have both Toyota and Honda on it?
Yes.
Actually, these three are the Toyota.
Yes.
You see how you threw me off? The car's the exact same color. And these don't show that it's a Toyota, but these are the three of the Toyota, and this is his car.
That's right.
I guess that's just his license. Okay. And then this is the Toyota.
That's mine.
Have you been driving the car? Is it drivable?
Yeah, it's drivable.
Of his.
Okay, let's discuss a few things.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So you get in an accident and the other person's fault. They say, don't call the police. I'll pay you. I promise I'll pay you. Would you believe it?
Absolutely not. It's
You
too,
would call the police.
yeah, it's too risky. There's too many people. I don't know that person. I wouldn't do it.
What do you think?
That person can extort you. There's no guarantee that you'll actually get your money. So I would say I'd definitely call the police.
You would always call the police.
I would call the police. I always back the blue.
You're back to the blue. Okay, going inside the courtroom.
First of all, for all of you out there who think for a moment that accident reconstruction is the way to go, I've been a judge for 20 years and I've seen a lot of accidents in my day, and it's not as easy as people think it is. When you have two people and you have them saying, this is how the accident happened, the accident could have happened here that way, or the accident could have happened here that way. It's the exact same accident. So there's nothing to reconstruct. You understand? I cannot look at the damage and try to figure out which of you guys is right. Let me just explain how important this is. When you have a car accident, the first thing that you do is, of course, make sure you're okay, make sure the other person's okay, because you're humans first. And then you take that, do you have a phone?
Yes.
Does it have a camera?
Yes.
Do you have a phone? Does it have a camera?
Yes.
Okay, the camera is in there to take pictures that matter. This is a picture that matters, okay? So you go to a safe spot because there's traffic all here. And the safe spot may be the inside of your car. Boom, 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 5 seconds. And then maybe you step out right here. Boom, 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 3 seconds. Then you call the police. You call the police. When I was 18 years old, my boyfriend and I were driving, he was driving, and we were on a residential road, and a delivery truck was stopped, looked at the others, and said, hey, that's not it, goes into reverse and bangs into us, and begged us not to call the police because he was going to lose his job. And my college boyfriend was a very nice guy, way too nice for me. It's very undeserving of him. I hope he's watching. Then didn't want the guy to lose his job, so he said, what do you think happens the next day? Oh, that guy rear end collision. I learned this lesson very early. Call the police and take the pictures. Get a police report. Invest a half hour or hour waiting for the police to eventually get to your accident, because you're saving yourself the 20 hours that this lawsuit ends up costing you. So now when I don't have that, what am I left with? Is that mom?
Yes.
Yeah, because mom just made a bad face, like she just smelled a bad odor, because mom knows what's coming next. And you know why mom knows that? Because mom's a mom. I'm always asked, like, what is it that helps you to decide these kind of, how is it you can tell how something happened and who is maybe not being too forthright, or how can you tell? And the answer is not that I spent 10 years as a prosecutor doing death penalty litigation and cross-examining murderers. The answer is that I am the mother of 3 children, okay? And when you are a mother, you tend to be able to sift from the nuances. And the nuances are 2 in this case. The most compelling is that you didn't even ask for his insurance information until dad told you to. And when a guy's asking for your insurance information, the only reason that you wouldn't ask for his is if you realized it was your fault at the time. So there was no need to ask for his, all right? And 2, you have 2, not 1, but 2 witnesses. And you have the grave misfortune of neither one of them coming and neither one of them putting anything on paper for you. I don't know about that. All right, here's where we are, folks. My verdict on the counterclaim is 0, and I'm ruling in favor of the plaintiff in this case in the amount of the defendant's insurance company's adjustment, which is $1,640.19. Good luck, folks.
All right, let's see what the defendant has to say coming out on the losing end of this case. You get nothing out of this except a loss. Why didn't you get insurance information right at the scene, right at the time?
I don't know. It was my first accident. I kind of didn't know what was going on, and I don't know. It was kind of stupid of me.
You learned that lesson, right?
I learned a lesson.
Okay, why not bring some affidavits in here from witnesses? What about that?
I think I need to find better friends.
No, he bailed on us at the last minute. We only had like 24 hours to get him to a notary, and he was asleep. He didn't want to do it. That would have showed Michael's real
Mom knows
personality.
best.
Okay.
All right, head right around the corner this way. All right, so come on in here. You win your case. You also didn't act correctly at the scene. What have you learned out of all this?
There are bad people in this world, and you can never trust anybody. So
Okay, you have an accident next time. What are the 3 things you do?
you definitely call the police, get his insurance.
Take
and
pictures?
Take pictures, that's right.
Harvey?
Okay, before you move the car at an accident scene, I am telling you, take pictures. The way the cars are positioned and where the damage is can make all the difference in the world in determining who's at fault. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.